Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to the Qatar Open Innovation Program webinar. This webinar is in a partnership between QRDI and Hassad Food. I'm very excited to be your host for this session. Let me first introduce myself. My name is Abdul Haq Bel'idi. I'm a QRDI Program Manager in charge of the Open Innovation Program. My distinguished guest today and panelist today is Engineer Nasser Ariqat from Hassad Food. He's the general manager of Qatfa, which is a subsidiary of Hassad. Engineer Nasser has a BSc and MSc in horticulture from Jordan University, Science of Technology. He worked as production manager at Alisar Flowers in Dubai from 2008 to 2011, and then worked as operation manager plants production section of Astra Farms Tabuk, Saudi Arabia from 2011 to 2019. So regarding the agenda of today, I will be giving a short introduction about the program. Then Engineer Nasser will talk about the innovation call, the Hassad Food Open Innovation Call. Then I will show how to submit a proposal, and then we'll go to the Q&A session. So, Qatar Open Innovation Program aims at connecting local opportunity owners with the local and global solution providers. The idea is to pilot innovation products and solutions inside Qatar. So what we do, we go to the opportunity owners inside Qatar. We look for the innovation technologies they wanted to adopt, and we submit a call for proposal on different platforms. We scout for new solution providers, and we evaluate proposals, and we arrive to a handshake between the opportunity owners and the solution providers. So what are our offering to you? We offer you to gain access to funding for pilot development, and the funding is limited to $100,000 US per project. The project could be between 6 months and 1.5 years. We provide potential commercial agreements between large enterprises and government agencies and the solution provider. We provide as well, we facilitate as well company registration inside Qatar. Also, we provide access to the local incubators and accelerators, as well as access to Qatari and GCC markets. Last year, we published 13 open innovation calls with 7 partners. Here are the name of the partners. They are well known in Qatar, and some of them are also well known outside Qatar, like Kahrama, Uridu, Sidra Medicine, Hassad Food, and Milaha, in addition to 2 government agencies who are the Ministry of Municipality and Ministry of Environment and Climate Change. Now I would like to hand over to my colleague, to Engineer Nasser, who will be talking about the Hassad Open Innovation Call. Engineer Nasser, the call is yours, or the floor is yours.
Thank you, Dr. Abdul Haq, for your introduction. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. In this regard, we have the most challenge in our area, especially in the Gulf area and in Qatar, where we have the high relative humidity during the summer season. We have the high humidity and the high water content in the air. And this problem will allow us to keep the plants humid with high temperature, and this also allow to prevent the good pollination and the fruit set in the fruits for the vegetables like the tomato, eggplant, and capsicum, especially for the period from June up to September. And this is the major reason why we don't have fruits or vegetables during this time of the year. Next slide, doctor, please. As we see from this, we have most of the greenhouses in Qatar. It has the pad and fan system, and this system is very efficient during the high dry area, which is from December up to May and 15th of June. But later on, when there is high humidity, the efficiency of this cooling pads to reduce the temperature is not working efficiently, and the temperature outside of the greenhouse, which will be almost equal or a little bit inside the greenhouses. So this will enable to maintain the optimum climate inside the greenhouse. The plant will have the stress, the nutrient deficiencies, and there will be a lot of pests and diseases like the fungicides. And as we said, there will be poor pollination and the fruit set, and all of this will lead to low yield and high costs. So this is challenging to produce the long cycle crops like the tomato, eggplant, and capsicum during the summer. We can produce only inside these greenhouses only some cucumber during the summer, which will have 50% less production compared to the normal type. Next one, doctor, please. And here where we can see, this is, for example, photos during the end of May, and we can see the efficiency, the deficiency symptoms of the calcium due to the high temperature and the high relative humidity, which will not allow the plants to absorb the nutrients. And later on, as we said in June, at the end of June or July, there will be no fruit set. Next one, doctor, please. This is also another photo for the left side. You can see the fruit set is not completed, so there will be no fruits. And at the right there you have the blossom and rot, also deficiency. Next one, doctor, please. Also, this is because of the high humidity. You can see that the plants of the cucumbers, it is having high stress, which will reduce the productivity. And even though that in cucumber there is no fruit, it's a parthenocarpic fruit, but also it will lose 50% of the fruits. Next one, doctor, please.
It's all.
Yeah, thank you very much for. So this is our major problem in our greenhouses in Qatar during the summer season, and this is where we need to find a solution to minimize this. Thank you, doctor.
Thank you very much, Engineer Nasser, for your presentation. I go now and show how to apply for this call, or how to respond to this call. You can go to our website. This is the address of our website. Once you go there, you scroll down to where it's written current challenges, here where I show with my mouse. You click on the title. This is the title of the, we have here 2 open calls. You click on reducing humidity of cooling air, and then it will open you the call. You can read the call and click on apply via QRDI portal. It will ask you to enter your Google credentials. Then it gives you the form where you can put your proposal name, organization, contact person, your job title, the website of your company, phone number, and you can start to answer the questions of the template. This is how you apply, and then once you apply, you will receive from our side a confirmation that your application is received. Thank you very much. And now we go to the Q&A session. Are there any questions, please? Okay, the question is, can you explain TRL 3 needed more? I presume that you want to explain to know what is the TRL level. So we have a range of TRL from TRL 3, which is the proof of concept in the labs, up to TRL 8. However, Hassad is keen to go for higher TRL only if your solution has a very high potential and it's at TRL 3, it may be accepted. The other question is about the specific items for the budgets. Yes, we have specific items for the budgets. We have the budgets for personnel and for CapEx and OpEx. But we don't have limitation how much you put in which category. And also, and also travel as well. The question is, will you be looking for a ready solution? We do not take off-the-shelf solutions. We would like, as I mentioned in the program, to develop a solution together with the opportunity owner. The question is, what level of detail is needed in the submission? You could put as much as details you want, but please do not put any sensitive information that you think that you have an IP right that you did not disclose yet. The question is, I have already applied but haven't received any email. Is it okay? I will come back to you. We will take your name and I will come back to you why you did not receive an email. The question is for Engineer Nasser. Your ventilation and cooling. Okay, it's not complete question. Can you ventilation and cooling part today? I couldn't understand. Please reformulate your question. The question is, we have submitted our proposal. When can we hear back from QRDI? So the deadline for submission, for proposal submission is May 15, and it will take about 1.5 to 2 months for the evaluation period. So you will be hearing between early July and mid-July. The question is, did I understand correctly that the funding is limited to $100,000 US? And the answer is yes. The funding is limited to this value because we think it's a proof of concept only. Next question. This question I already answered. When will you review inquiries and when we expect to for a feedback? Please expect feedback around mid-July. Question is, do we need a partner? In this case, you do not need a Qatari partner. You can apply even if you are outside Qatar without Qatari partner. So the question is, can you describe with schematics drawing the system setup? This question is to Engineer Nasser. Probably we can send the answer by email. Engineer Nasser, you would like to say something here?
Yeah, we can send. This is the normal pad and fan system for the greenhouses, which are used in the dry areas. So this is the airflow from the back of the greenhouse through the fans, which is in the front, and this will reduce the temperature of the greenhouse. We can send some photos and pictures for the operation of this cooling effect inside the greenhouse.
Okay, thank you, Engineer Nasser. Other question is, are there size constraints and or energy consumption constraints? This question is to you, Engineer Nasser, is about the size of the greenhouse and the energy consumption.
Yeah, usually, you know that there's these greenhouses which we have. It's most of it 5,000 square meter. You can have 10,000 square meter, but maybe for a pilot project in the future, we can have a small greenhouse to test it, where you have the size of 9 meter by 30 meter, and the height of this greenhouse is almost 3 meters.
Okay, thank you, Engineer Nasser. The question is, between June and September, what is the expected temperature and humidity that is expected from the solution?
Yeah, for the solution, we are expecting to may have at least 26 centigrade inside the greenhouse, with a relative humidity which is the average one, 50 to 60 percentage, with low water content as we described at the beginning. So this is what we need during this period. Thank you.
Again, a question here is, I have not received a confirmation email. We'll make sure that any submission would have received a confirmation email, but please check your junk mail, because sometimes the email that comes to you goes directly to your spam folder or junk mail. The question is, can more information be submitted as PDF? Is there a memory limit for PDF attachments on the number of or the number of attachments? This is a good question. We have attachments there, but I will reach out to you about the size, the limit size of the PDF file. Question: where are the eligibility criteria? Can company from Western Europe apply to this program? And the answer is yes. The only eligibility criteria that we have is to be a company, not a research institution. Of course, a company registered in your country. The question is to you, the Engineer Nasser, is there a system solution concept presentation where the different parts of the ventilation system are described? Can we share this information by email?
Again, doctor, please.
They are looking for the system solution concepts presentation where the different parts of the ventilation system are described.
Yeah, we can provide some information regarding how much the volume of the air using these ventilation systems. We can have some PDF files and send it.
Thank you, Engineer Nasser. The following question: is there a maximum grant to fund this innovation project? And the answer is the maximum is $100,000 US. Question to you, Engineer Nasser, is what is the flow rate that you wish to have dehumidified in the demonstration?
Usually we have, for example, our flow rate for the big fans. For example, let's imagine we have two fans in a 9 meter by 40 meter area with a height of 5 meter. In these fans, we will have 30,000 cubic meter per hour. This is the flow rate for those fans who are running, and it's directly getting the air from the air backside the cooling pads.
Thank you, Engineer Nasser. Question is, what is the cubic volume flow rate of the air ventilation inside each greenhouse?
We already answered that now, as I told you.
Okay, thank you. So the question is, do you want to first cool the air with the cooling pad and then dehumidify the air coming from the existing cooling system?
Usually the air which is coming, it's already have full water content. It is high relative humidity. So we need so the problem that with the temperature is high because the humidity is high. So there is no difference in the temperature between the inside and the outside. So this will create, once you have the high humidity, there will be no reduction in the temperature. So this is why we have, once we have high humidity, the efficiency of the cooling pads is very low. So we need solution to remove the air from the, to remove the water from the air and to keep the temperature lower.
Thank you. The question is about the limit of the funding, and I mentioned it, it's the limit of the funding is $100,000 per project. The question is to you, Engineer Nasser. The greenhouse is sheltered from directly sunlight partially?
Yeah, of course. Either most of the greenhouses in Qatar, either it is glass covered, plastic covered, or it is completely isolated from the outside weather and air.
But not from the sunlight?
From the sunlight, for sure, there is a screen inside the greenhouse which will open during the high density of light.
The question is, if we are developing a proof of concept prototype outside Qatar, do we have to deliver it to Qatar for trial? And the answer is yes. It has to be tried here in Qatar. Other question. What are the expected characteristics of the incoming fresh air after conditioning from the pad system? I think you answered this question, Engineer Nasser.
Should be dry, as we said, less water content, and it should be lower temperature.
Okay. There is a request to provide photos of the current system. Can we do that?
Yes.
Okay. The question is, do we know what is the airflow rate of the POC greenhouse, of the proof of concept greenhouse, 90 times 30 times 3?
Again, Doctor?
The question is, do you know what is the airflow rate of the proof of concept greenhouse, the greenhouse that you mentioned?
No, as we said, it is the airflow. I told you, according to a size of 9 meter by 40, you have two fans. Each fan has 31 to 30 cubic meter per hour. And this is continuously, and this is also depends on the temperature inside the greenhouse.
Okay. The question to me here, do you just say that application has to be companies, not research institutions? And the answer is yes. The lead company should be, the lead applicant should be a company. A research institution can be a co-lead only. I think we reached now the, still we have some questions. Following the previous question, is there any chance of having more technical details regarding the current solution tried by Hassad Food? Do you have any technical detail? The one that you are using right now are just fans and pads, yeah?
Yeah, here in Qatar, what we have now, it is pad and fans. And the other solutions, which is very cost and which is used as demo, for example, in Qatar, is the AC conditioning completely. But this is cost, very high cost to produce under these circumstances.
Question is, can we replace the existing ventilator or fan to a new type of cooling system? Are you flexible with that?
Yeah, anything will reduce the temperature and the humidity. We can do that, and we are flexible to do it.
Question: are you keeping separate humidity level in each greenhouse?
No, generally we don't keep separate because usually here most of the farmers in Qatar are vegetable growers, so it's almost the same. We try to keep it the same.
Okay, who will own the IP of the development of solution? I can answer this question. If you come with your IP, then it's yours. If anything is created during the project, then it should be co-shared between the solution provider and the opportunity owner. The question: is there a preference for ventilated systems?
No, I mean, we don't have any specific preference for ventilation system, but we have before some trials in other countries. They try to use some chemicals to remove the humidity, and they didn't consider that these chemicals were cancerogenic, and it was not good trials.
Okay,
so
thank you.
Consider the environment. Yes.
Question is, how far the seashore from the greenhouses, and what is the water temperature in it during a period of high temperature and humidity?
Actually, here in Qatar, we are the highest. We have the deepest point. It is almost 30 kilometers away from the seashore, because most of the greenhouses in Qatar are near the seashore, and the temperature is outside. It can reach up to 48 during the highest time of the year.
Thank you, Engineer Nasser. The question is, the problem is about you using cooling air in greenhouses, and you need to reduce the humidity, go with the cooling air. I couldn't understand this. Okay, I couldn't understand this question.
No,
Can
he
you
mentioned
advise on the what is the operation maintenance costs are currently for the total air cooling system in greenhouse? Again, should I repeat the question?
Yes, please.
Yeah, the question is about the operation and maintenance costs for the air cooling system that you are using right now. How much is the operation and maintenance cost?
Yeah, usually the maintenance in this system is and washing the cooling pads every 1 month and using fresh water and replacing the cooling pads every 4 to 5 years. This is the maintenance operation for it.
All right, I think we reached to the last question. I would like to thank you very much for your questions and for attending this webinar. Thank you very much, Engineer Nasser, for your presentation, for answering all the questions. Please reach out to us by email. You have our email on the website, QRDI, QI at qrdi.org.qa, and then we can answer additional questions if you have. Thank you very much and have a nice day.